do you want to go to the flex grid? Or do you, what was your
The next
progression
thing,
there?
the next thing that I was going to take you guys to is just general parts, creating some custom ones. All we've been able to add right now is labor, discounts, freight, something like that. What about a real live thing? I was thinking that way, but if you wanted to do FlexGrid, I have no problem. FlexGrid is awesome. There's three main things that FlexGrid do that are awesome, awesome, awesome. A user maintained history note. You can have 15 custom fields. If we don't have it and you need it, FlexGrid, okay? Or you can tie things together. Those are the three things that the FlexGrid does. It's awesome. It is its own little application. Like if you look at it on the map right here, it's at the top. The FlexGrid reigns over everything. It's totally transparent, yet totally available to kind of help you customize this thing if you need it. Very powerful.
Maybe we could add some FlexGrid for a customer, and then you can go on
Okay,
to the
perfect,
parts.
perfect.
So let's go to the FlexGrid tie-ins.
You'll
And first we're
probably
going
get
to need
denied.
some permissions, so let's don't go there. Let's
Go
go
users.
down to, I'm not used to this.
Users, just click on users. It's in the middle, right? Smack dab in the middle. Yep.
Okay. And what we're going to want to do, so you're logged in, how are you logged in?
I'm the second one. Be more
Okay.
Logan. Yeah.
So click on your name again. And then the FlexGrid permissions are under system maintenance. So what I do is I just go down to system maintenance and I click on there. And then you'll see that there's two permissions that we want to turn on here. So we can be the admin. We want to turn on the green one that says add edit FlexGrid, and then we want to turn on the admin, the red one. And then you can go to the bottom of the page.
Hang on just 1 second before you guys submit this. I'm going to say you're going to want one other one, and it's at the very top, so go System Search. Click on the link that says System Search. There's actually a thing that says, hey, I want to be able to do this from the quick search. It's called FlexGrid. And this is just a search option. Yep.
Are you in management permissions? Management?
We
support?
switched all around. Basically, you're going to want to scroll down till you find a set of links right there, and then click on System Search, and it'll take you to the tippy top of that section. Okay?
Yeah, system maintenance is where,
It's in maintenance, not system permissions, not
yeah, not
permissions.
management, maintenance.
You're going to scroll down just a little bit until you find the word FlexGrid.
So then under system maintenance, you're under,
Add edit FlexGrid and admin FlexGrid. So it's the, under system maintenance, it's the second and the third permission.
He was doing fine. I probably muddied the waters. There's a total of 3 permissions. One is just a quick search. Basically what it does is it adds it to your options of quick search, okay? And then the other one is can I use it? And the other one is admin. Can I really control it, okay?
Yeah, so once you have the two that are under system maintenance, if you scroll up just a little bit and you click on the system basics, then that will take you up to the top where you can add, you have to scroll down just a little bit in this field to get to system.
hold on just a second, I'm not getting to where the page you are. I'm sorry, I took a text, I shouldn't have. I looked up and you were somewhere.
So Steve, we haven't done anything. Why don't you just hit your back button for a second, go back to the main user page, and we'll start from the top, kind of add a couple permissions, okay? Just hit back one time. Actually, you've been hitting some hyperlinks, so use your super back button if you want. Let's have them use that one. And then go right there, page permission homepage. Now click on my name again.
Okay, so where are you now?
I'm on the payee permission homepage.
So from the main map, you click on the users button.
Thank you.
And then once you're under the user, the easiest way to get to the first one is just scroll down in the first part until you find FlexGrid right here. Does everybody see that? We'll turn that one on, and then if you go down just a little bit further, and you go to System Maintenance, and then it's the second and the third permission. Okay? Then you can just go to the bottom of the page and edit your payee.
I'm sorry, I keep catching up. You go on before I get to the next one, so I got the
No
baby
problem.
page.
Okay, so click on your name right here. Right there. Now, what you're gonna do is we're gonna start on system search right here. Scroll down a little bit. These are just the options that will add to your quick search. So coming down.
Everybody else got their permissions turned on?
Yep, just a little bit faster. Okay, now scroll down. Okay, you can scroll if you want to scroll. A quick way to do it, go up just a little bit, there's these little jump links. So you're gonna want to click on system maintenance. And then you're gonna say FlexGrid and FlexGrid admin. Now, if you wanted to, technically you only have a little bit longer to go, or you could just hit bottom of the page, and now you're there. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Cool. Now go ahead and go back to the main homepage.
Okay, so then when you're on the main homepage, the first thing I want to show you is the permission that we added. So in the upper left-hand corner up here by your logo where it currently says CW Customer, click on that, drop that down, and you're going to find FlexGrid. Okay? So because FlexGrid is a one-to-many relationship to 12 different areas within the system. And right now we don't have anything in there, so we wouldn't find anything if we were trying to search there. But we do have it turned on now so that we have the search ability. And then what we want to do is we want to go to this top link here on FlexGrid tie-ins. That's going to take us to the FlexGrid homepage. And basically the two permissions that you turn on, the first permission, the green permission, allows you to go to this page where you can search and you can do all kinds of different functions here. The second permission you turned on gives you this button here where it says Admin Manage Custom Fields. We want to click on that page, that button there. So this is how we're going to set up the fields. And I've taught a lot of people FlexGrid, and the easiest way to teach you is just to kind of show you and have you help me add some fields in here, and then we're just going to go back and see what it does. Okay, because it's kind of a deep process. So on this first piece, what we want to do is we want to go to the customer tie-in fields. So we're going to add FlexGrid to a customer. So we're able to add up to 15 fields. The first one we automatically name as Other One. So let's have one person click on Other One. Okay,
Janice.
click on that, Shannon, and then if you would, what's going to happen, I'll follow with you. It's going to queue it up at the top, and then go ahead and take Other One out of there. And what kind of a relationship would you guys like to build? These are customers, so think about additional information we want to add for customers that don't already exist. We used to add birthday in there, but we now have birthday as one of the fields. How about eye color? I'll just throw one out there. So if you want to put that one in, Shannon, and then I'm going to refresh once you add it.
Do I need to change anything else?
Let's just do eye color on that one, and then I'm going to show you the other fields. So I'm going to refresh it. Okay, so we have eye color in there. Now what I want to show you is on these fields here, the default selection is an open entry field. We use that when we don't really know what that data is going to be. In other words, it could be a lot of different examples or a lot of different types. We use a dynamic drop down if we pretty much know what that's going to be. So like eye color, there's only four or five different eye colors that a person could have, right? So let's go ahead and have you select the dynamic drop down list.
For the eye color.
For the eye color one, yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to get it back in edit mode.
Sounds good. Okay, it's done.
Okay, and then you edited it? Okay, great. All right, so now, before we drop off into that, I want to show you where that is. So right here it says eye color. Okay, before we get off into this any further, so Shannon, you've already added one, so I want everybody else to go up to the top of this page, and I'm going to have to
Just change it to
refresh.
add mode. There's a
Oh
link.
yeah. Okay, so this is what you should be looking at the top of your page now. You should have a select And what you want to do is select the customer, and then type in the field what you would like to additionally track for that customer.
Could be household income, it could be neighbors.
Shoe size, it could
shoe
be-
size, shirt size. Say you have an employee and you needed to track, what do I give them for their shirt size, you know? Could be bonuses, could be whatever. Like, what are we not tracking that you want?
So basically what this is this where we can build 15 fields that's additional information. We allow the clients to build their own database here. They're developing their own database. So as you add them, just go ahead and I'm just going to hit refresh. Okay, so we have some good ones. We have bonus, we have potential sales, we have school. Okay? So I'm going to refresh again. Okay, so the one that we want to add something to is we want to add some subs. So we'll go ahead and have you click on add sub. And everybody can actually click on add
So
sub.
it's just eye colors.
Yep, so let's everybody
Everybody
add.
just add one. So let's go blue, brown.
I got green.
You got green? Who wants hazel? Hazel. Shannon's on hazel.
And somebody can put in red.
Red, red eyes.
And somebody can put in black.
Bad pictures.
Brown. Brown's a good color.
Brown.
Hard to put it brown.
Hazel.
Got hazel.
So then I have to hit refresh.
Okay, so yep.
Yeah, because we're all playing in here, you have to hit refresh to see what everybody else has done. Okay, so we kind of dived into the pond and then we dived even a little deeper because these are all one-to-many relationships. These main pieces, they're a one-to-many relationship to the customer, so we're adding other data fields for the customer. And then we went into another one-to-many relationship with eye color and the colors of their eyes. Okay? There's one other one that we want to set in here before we go back and see what this is. So let's have one person, Craig, go up to the top where your main application type is.
Right.
Go to your customer, and then in here, let's add in how did you hear about us?
Oh, okay. Just the title or field name?
Yep.
Okay.
Put how did you hear
All right.
about us? And then I want you to choose the interaction type of the very bottom one, the open and dynamic. Open and or. Okay?
Interaction type was,
The bottom one.
okay,
Both
oh,
open
okay.
and.
Okay, got it. Okay, and that field?
Yep, add your field.
Okay, got it.
Okay, perfect. So now we have how did you hear about us? Okay, so now let's add some subs. So somebody add Ethan newspaper. You guys can add something else, whatever you think. Walk
Yeah,
in,
radio, yeah.
Lots
radio,
of different ways.
just whatever that you want there. We'll just add a few subs in there, okay? Okay, awesome. Good ones, good ones, good ones.
Normally, just so you know, normally you have only your main admin people who need these permissions. You do not want to give this to anybody so that they can build all of these fields type thing. This is you setting something up and then them using it again and again and again, okay? We in this class, you guys all have huge admin permissions. It's for learning purposes, okay? But ideally, you set it up and then you say, okay, now that it's set up, now use it, type thing, okay? You don't want people in here just mixing and matching and playing. This is you setting up a database.
Something else that's important, just as an FYI, is that once you set up like number one is eye color, and let's say that your client's using that field for 6 months to put in eye color, they can't just come in here and change that to shoe size, because the data that is underneath that is always going to be their eye color. I mean, they could change it, but the data that's in that field is going to stay in that field. Does that make sense? Okay.
It's not retroactive is basically what he's kind of saying. It's like,
Yeah. we do have I'll take this opportunity to throw in a little request for Brandon too. I do have 2 clients that would really love to be able to sort those because they sort by the title name. Okay, so notice how number 1's eye color and number 2's bonus and so on. When we actually go to add FlexGrid to this client, which is what we're going to do next, you're going to see they're going to fall in the same manner. Well, because there's 15 of them, we do have some clients that they track that data on a piece of paper, and what they'd like to do is they'd like to be able to go in, put the first one in, hit tab, add the next one, hit tab, add the next one, hit tab, so that they don't make a mistake of choosing which field this data goes into. Does that make sense?
What happened was they ended up adding them after the fact, and then they're like, oh, my process changed.
Yeah.
So we'll probably end up adding a sort ability, so we can do that.
Now what we're going to do is let's go up to the top of this page, and I'm just going to use the little quick search, and I'm going to go find me a client again, a customer. And I'm going to pick on Charlie Brown. You guys can pick on whoever that you wish, okay? And we're going to go to the log again. So now, because we turned on that permission, the green permission gave us this, add new FlexGrid tie-in. Okay? So we're going to click on that. And the way that this page is set up, I've got to spend a little bit of time here with you on this page, on how this is set up. The first section of this is you're going to have your main tie-in or main player. So this is going to give you the information. It's going to give you the ID number, Charlie Brown. It tells you who you're adding this FlexGrid to, or I shouldn't say who, I should say what part of the system are you adding FlexGrid, because FlexGrid can be added to a PO, to an invoice, to a deposit. There's 12 main places you can add FlexGrid to. Okay, so the first part of it is telling you who the main player is. The second part is called the sub-tie-ins. So here are the other pieces that you can add FlexGrid to, and also you can also tie them to this. So if I wanted to tie Charlie Brown to another invoice or another customer, I could do so here. I could put in the invoice number, or I could put in the customer ID number there. As an example of that, I'm going to double click on Charlie Brown's ID number. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to put it in here. I'm just tying it to himself, just to show you. Because you guys don't have any invoices and there's no POs, no expense receipts.
There's a few quotes, that's about it.
Okay. Then the part that we're looking for, if you go down a little ways, is these custom fields. If we would have had FlexGrid turned on and we wouldn't have added these fields in here, where it says eye color, it would say other one, and it would have a little open box there. Does that make sense? Because we're just dynamically naming that. So now we can come onto, and you guys, if you guys chose another customer, or even if you chose Charlie Brown, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and select an eye color, put in a bonus, put in potential sales, and put in a school. And either select from the drop down how they heard about us, or put in the field. Or type in the field how they heard about us. Everybody okay on that? Okay. This field, these field names here, you can have up to 15. So it will, as you add, it's just going to automatically include those other fields that you add. Okay?
If you don't want any, there's just one by default and it can be left blank. This is not required, okay?
The bottom of this, I'm just going to spend 1 second here because I know that everybody's a lot of people got a glazed look here going, but this bottom piece is for notes and other type of relationships and tie-ins, and we won't really go into that because this is like even more of the ability for you to tie more things in. I will tell you one thing that happens on this page a lot is if an owner of a company or a manager is suspicious that an employee is stealing from them, or if there's something going on that they want to report, might even be something to do with like 2 employees that are, fighting with each or arguing with each other, or potential harassment suit or something like that, they'll put notes in here and they'll document this, because this is gonna automatically stamp the date and time, and you can run it as transparent if you want. So if you have the admin permissions, you can be documenting all kinds of things. Yes?
Would it also be something like if there was an accident, where you would record an incident like that?
Anything that you want. This piece right here at the bottom of this page is literally your diary, if you will, of anything that happens within the business that you openly want to record for let everybody see, or as a general note, or you can do a transparent where only people that have admin permissions can see that. And
Can I, just real quick, transparent says, I'm attached, but I'm not gonna physically show on the printable version. Admin only says, only people with admin can see it. Like, for instance, say I have an invoice and I attach something to an invoice. If I hit transparent, when I go to print the invoice out, the flex grid doesn't even show up, but it's still attached, okay? It's transparent, it's still attached. It means it's recorded, but you have to go to a separate page for it. Admin only means if I'm a normal salesperson, I don't even know that it exists. Or if I do know that it exists, I get to it and it only shows me the non-admin versions. It's a way to document. This bottom section is how you do your user-maintained history notes, okay? One of the 3 purposes of the flex grid. And you can even just use them simple. User-maintained histories, custom fields, or tie-ins, or just one of those pieces. Those are the 3 main ways that you can use a flex grid.
yeah, it bears to say too that on FlexGrid, it's best to go in and read all the help files, and more than anything, what I usually suggest to clients is just to go into one of the play sites and just play around with it, because it takes a little while to kind of realize all the functions and features that you have with that. But let's just go ahead and add this tie-in. If you want, you can put something in the note there if you want to see how that shows up. But once you add the tie-in, now it's going to take you back to the log page again. And now underneath your customer logs, you're going to have your FlexGrid tie-in. And I'll just refresh this to see if we've got some other ones that are on there from that. Okay, we don't. Now the other piece I want to show you and is that any of the information that's in these fields now, so the eye color, bonus, all of this information, if I go back up to the top here, and I think I'll just type in an A and see what I get.
You're under customer right now. Flip back to flex grid.
And so I just typed in an A under FlexGrid and I got 2 results.
You type what under FlexGrid?
I just put an A in there, just random, because I don't really know what other FlexGrid that you guys added in.
You can also go like this. This is a keyword, FlexGrid all. Hit go, and we can see who added what to what.
Secret mission.
Looks like everybody was picking on Charlie Brown except that,
Except Shannon.
what is that name?
It's a cartoon, it was the last one I
Angle?
watched.
Okay.
Just leaving it.
And then as always, you always have your little button up here if you want to refine your search, which you can drill in deeper. I think that's probably enough on FlexGrid. FlexGrid it's a very, very powerful tool. But again, one of the coolest things I think that it has to offer is it allows you to add additional fields. So when you guys are setting up an account, if they say, hey, I need this other field and I don't see it underneath whatever part of the system that they're in, you just go to FlexGrid and do that. Or as Brandon mentioned earlier too, if they're wanting to run something where they're wanting to track something on the side, or they want to perform some other kind of functionality, a lot of times we can use the FlexGrid to do that functionality, and then that allows us to kind of see if it's something that maybe we want to even include in the system and, for development wise.